The storm had no mercy. White wind screamed across the frozen land like something alive. Snow moved sideways, upward, everywhere at once. The planet did not welcome visitors. Far from any city or station, two small figures lay half buried in the ice. They were alien children, young and fragile. Their thin bodies shaking, their skin had turned pale from cold. Their breaths slow and weak. They had been alone for too long. Their people were not warriors. They were traders and speakers. Known for soft voices and gentle ways, in the galaxy, everyone knew one rule. Weak species do not survive storms like this. The children did not cry anymore. Crying wasted energy, and energy meant warmth. They only held each other, trying to remember heat, trying to remember home. Above them, the sky vanished behind thick clouds. No stars, no signals, no help. The storm erased everything. Even hope felt frozen, several kilometers away. A lone human transport vehicle crawled through the blizzard. Its sensors screamed warnings again and again. Low visibility, structural risk, mission abort recommended. Any smart pilot would turn back. The human inside saw the alerts, but did not slow down. His name did not matter. He was not a soldier, not a hero. Just a human doing a supply run between remote colonies. Then something strange appeared on his scanner. A weak signal, broken and fading, not a beacon, not a ship, life signs. The system marked it as non-priority, small mass, low survival chance. The galaxy had rules for moments like this. Do not risk one life for two already lost. The human stared at the display. The signal flickered like a dying flame. He knew the storm could tear his vehicle apart. He also knew what the signal meant. Someone was still alive. Barely. He slowed the vehicle. Every meter forward felt like a mistake. Ice slammed into the hull like thrown stones. The wind howled louder, as if angry, inside the cabin. Heaters struggled. Power levels dropped. The vehicle warned him again. Mission abort, mission abort. The human muted the system. He leaned forward, eyes locked on the signal. His hands tightened on the controls. He whispered a simple word. Hold on. The vehicle finally stopped. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. The world outside was white chaos. Stepping out meant risking everything. The door opened. Cold rushed in like a living thing. The human wrapped himself in heavy gear and stepped into the storm. Each step sank deep into snow. He followed the signal on a handheld scanner. 5 meters, 4, 3, and he saw them. Two small shapes, barely moving for a moment. He froze. They were smaller than he expected. Children, alien children. One of them lifted their heads slightly. Large eyes reflected fear and disbelief. They had been taught humans were dangerous. Fast, violent, unpredictable, the human dropped to his knees. Ignoring the cold biting through his suit, he checked their breathing, weak but present, alive. He pulled out thermal blankets, wrapped them gently, carefully. The children flinched, expecting pain, but none came. The human activated his emergency heat pack. Warmth spread slowly. The children's shaking eased just a little. One of them made a soft sound. Almost a question. The human spoke calmly. Simple words, slow and steady. You are safe. I am here. He lifted them carefully. Each step back to the vehicle felt heavier than the last. The storm pushed against him, as if trying to take them back. Inside the vehicle, heaters rose to maximum. The human placed the children near the core warmth. He checked them again and again, refusing to look away. Outside, the storm did not stop. Inside, something else changed. The scanner suddenly flashed new readings. Large masses, fast approach. The human frowned. These signals were not weather, not natural, vehicles. 4 separate engine signatures cut through the storm. Heavy, powerful, controlled. Black shapes emerged in the white distance, moving with purpose. The children saw them through the frost-covered window. Their fear returned instantly. They tried to pull back, weak hands gripping the human's sleeve. Their voices shook. The human followed their gaze. 4 black SUVs slowed and stopped around his vehicle. Engines idled, quiet and threatening. No lights, no markings visible. The storm seemed to pause. As if the world itself was holding its breath, the human stood slowly, placing himself between the children and the window. He did not know who had come. In the frozen silence, one truth became clear. Saving the children was only the beginning. Whatever came next would change everything. The engines outside stayed quiet. Snow moved slowly around the black vehicles. The storm was still strong, but the danger felt closer now. Inside the transport vehicle, the human stayed calm. He checked the children again. Their skin was still cold, but color was slowly returning. The smaller child tried to speak. The words came out weak and broken. The human leaned closer to listen. Cold. Hurts, the child whispered. The human nodded. I know. But you are safe now, he said softly. His voice stayed steady, even though his heart was racing. He adjusted the heat controls, rerouted power from navigation to warmth. The system warned him about critical limits. He ignored it again. Outside, the 4 black SUVs did not move. No doors opened, no weapons were visible. That made it worse. The galaxy feared silence more than noise. The children watched the vehicles through the window. Their bodies tensed despite the warmth. They had seen machines like these before, machines that took people away. The older child grabbed the human's sleeve, eyes wide with fear. They will take us, the child said. Please do not let them. The human looked down at the small hand gripping his arm. The glove was thin, shaking. He gently placed his own hand over it. They are not taking anyone, he said. Not today. He did not know if it was true. But humans had a habit of deciding first and asking later. The scanners beeped again. A transmission request appeared. Encrypted, human origin, high priority. The human took a slow breath, then accepted the call. A calm voice filled the cabin. This is Human Recovery Command. You are off route and in violation of storm protocol. State your status. The human did not hesitate. 2 alien children found alive, he said. Severe exposure. I am providing shelter. There was a short pause, long enough to feel heavy. Then the voice returned. Confirmed. We tracked your heat spike. Remain where you are. The children did not understand the words, but they understood the tone. It was not cruel. It was controlled. One of the children looked up at the human. Are they angry? The child asked. The human almost smiled. They are worried, he replied. Outside, one of the SUVs finally moved. Its door opened slowly. A human figure stepped out, wrapped in heavy gear. No weapon raised, no rush. Then another door opened, then another. 4 humans now stood in the storm, all facing the transport vehicle. The storm pushed against them. Snow covered their boots within seconds. But they did not step back. Inside, the children watched carefully. They had never seen humans stand still in a storm. Most species hid from planets like this. Humans stood in them. The lead rescuer approached the vehicle. Slow steps, open hands, a universal sign of peace. A human pilot opened the door, just enough to speak. Cold rushed in again, but the children stayed warm behind him. We are transferring them, the rescuer said. Medical unit is ready. The human nodded. I am coming with them, he said. The rescuer paused, then nodded back. Of course, the transfer was careful. Thermal blankets never removed. Warm air shields active. Every movement planned. The children were carried gently. Not like cargo, not like prisoners, like something precious. as they were moved into the larger rescue vehicle. The storm began to lose its grip, the wind softened slightly, as if the planet itself was watching. Inside the rescue SUV, advanced heaters activated. Medical scanners passed over the children. Green lights appeared, stable, alive, recovering. The older child looked at the human pilot, confusion clear on their face. "You broke the rules," the child said. The human chuckled softly. "Humans do that sometimes," he replied. The rescue commander watched the exchange quietly, recording everything, because the galaxy would ask questions later. Why did a human risk death? Why did command send 4 vehicles into a death storm? Why were alien children treated like family? As the convoy prepared to leave, satellite feeds activated. Observers from multiple systems watched the live data. They saw something they did not expect. Humans did not hesitate. Humans did not calculate worth. Humans simply acted. The storm faded behind the moving vehicles. But a different kind of shockwave had already begun, one that would reach far beyond the frozen world. And it all started with one human choosing to stop. The convoy moved slowly through the snow, 4 black SUVs in perfect formation. The rescue vehicle stayed in the center, protected, like something important was being carried. Inside, the children rested under warm light. Their breathing was steadier now. Color slowly returned to their skin, but fear had not left their eyes. They watched every human movement, every sound of engines and systems. Their species trusted systems and rules. Humans trusted choices. The lead commander studied a data screen. External feeds, medical readouts, and security alerts, everything looked stable. But the galaxy was never quiet for long. A new signal appeared. Not human, not friendly, unregistered. The commander's jaw tightened. Long-range scanners confirmed it. A patrol craft from a rival alien authority, drawn by emergency signals and movement in restricted space. The convoy could not hide. The storm was thinning. Visibility increased. Eyes were now watching. Inside the rescue vehicle, the older child sensed the shift. The humans had gone quiet. That kind of silence carried weight. "Something is wrong," the child said softly. The human pilot nodded. "Yes," he replied. "But stay calm." Outside, the alien patrol ship descended through the clouds. Its shape sharp and cold, light scanned the ground, looking for violations, not survivors. A transmission cut through all channels, authoritative, demanding. "This is Sector Authority. Transfer custody of the non-citizens immediately." The words hit hard. The children stiffened. Their hands tightened around the blankets. They knew this voice. That authority did not rescue. It collected, it processed, and sometimes it erased. The rescue commander stepped forward. He opened a channel without raising his voice. "These are protected survivors," he said. "Human emergency protocol is active." There was a pause, then a colder reply. "Your protocol does not apply here. Stand down." The humans did not move. 4 SUVs adjusted positions slightly, not aggressive, but ready. The children looked at the human pilot, fear shaking their voices again. "They will take us," the smaller one said. The human knelt beside them, lowering himself to their level. "They won't," he said. "Not while we are here, outside." The patrol ship lowered further. Its weapons did not activate. But everyone felt the threat. Pressure without fire. Galaxy observers watched the feed closely now. This was the moment they expected humans to step aside, to calculate risk, to obey authority instead. The rescue commander spoke again, calm, clear, human. "These children are under our care. You will leave?" Silence followed. Heavy, dangerous silence. The patrol ship scanned the convoy again. It saw humans standing in a storm, vehicles blocking access. bodies between power and the weak. This was not logical. This was not efficient. This was not expected. The patrol authority hesitated. Rules did not cover this behavior. Humans were supposed to avoid conflict. Not invited for strangers inside the rescue vehicle. The children watched through the window. For the first time, their fear mixed with something new. Confusion and awe. The patrol ship slowly rose. Its lights dimmed, engines turned away, retreat without victory. The transmission ended without another word. A quiet breath moved through the convoy. No cheers, no celebration, just relief. The human pilot closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again. He looked at the children. "You see," he said softly, "you're safe." The galaxy feed exploded with reaction. Analysts replayed the moment again and again. Humans had not threatened. Humans had not attacked. They had simply refused to step aside as the convoy resumed its journey. One truth settled across the watching stars. Humans were not dangerous because they were violent. They were dangerous because they cared. And the galaxy was only beginning to understand what that meant. The convoy continued forward. The patrol ship was gone. But its shadow still lingered in every mind. Inside the lead SUV, communications lit up. Multiple channels opened at once. Civilian networks, trade unions, observer councils. Everyone wanted answers. The rescue commander did not respond immediately. He focused on the children first. Medical readings were stable, core temperature rising. The human pilot sat nearby, watching quietly, as if staying alert alone could keep danger away. One of the children finally spoke again, voice still weak but clearer now. "Why did they leave?" the child asked. The pilot thought for a moment, then answered honestly. "Because they realized we would not move." The child did not fully understand, but the meaning stayed. Soon, the convoy reached the edge of the storm zone. Snow softened into ice dust. The sky opened slightly. Pale light touched the vehicles. At that moment, a priority transmission came through. Not local, not military, galactic. The emblem of the Galactic Council appeared on screen. Observers leaned forward across 1,000 worlds. This was no longer a rescue. This was a question. A council representative spoke, careful and measured. "Human command, you violated multiple jurisdictional boundaries." The rescue commander replied calmly. "Yes." That single word caused a stir. No denial, no excuse. The council speaker continued. "You endangered assets, disrupted authority, and altered a controlled outcome." The human pilot looked down at the children. Wrapped in blankets, alive, breathing, the commander spoke again. "We saved lives." The council paused. That answer did not fit their framework. A different council member joined the channel, voice sharper. "Your species continues to act outside acceptable logic." The commander did not disagree. Instead, he said, "That is correct." Across the galaxy, analysts whispered. Humans were admitting it. They did not follow the same rules. The older child listened quietly, then asked a question that surprised everyone. "Is saving us wrong?" The channel went silent. No council member answered right away. The human pilot leaned closer to the child. "No," he said softly. "It is never wrong." That moment was recorded, shared, replayed. The council finally spoke again, this time slower. "The children will be transferred to neutral medical space." The commander nodded. "As planned," but then the council added, "Human classification review will begin immediately." That was new. That was dangerous. For centuries, humans had been labeled unstable, high risk, emotion-driven. Now the galaxy had seen why. As the convoy approached the medical station, docks opened automatically. Emergency teams waited. The children were moved carefully once more, still never alone, still never treated like cargo before separation. The smaller child reached out, grabbing the human pilot's glove. "You came back for us," the child said. The pilot nodded. "Always." The medical doors closed. And for the first time since the storm began, the human allowed himself to breathe. Behind him, screens across the galaxy lit up with debate. Some called humans reckless. Others called them brave. But no one could deny the truth anymore. Humans had not challenged the galaxy with weapons. They had challenged it with choice, and the galaxy was not ready for what came next. The medical station floated above the frozen world, silent, clean, and warm, a place where storms could not reach. Inside, the alien children slept peacefully. Medical lights pulsed softly around them. Their bodies finally safe, their lives no longer fading. Human doctors worked without rush, without fear. To them, this was simple. Lives were worth saving, across the galaxy. The story spread, not as a rumor, not as propaganda, but as recorded fact. Every feed showed the same images. A human stepping into a blizzard. 4 black vehicles forming a shield. No weapons raised. Galactic councils reconvened. Emergency sessions called. Data replayed again and again. Humans had broken protocol. Humans had defied authority. Humans had protected alien children without hesitation. Analysts searched for motive, profit, politics. Strategic gain. They found none. The official human report was short. 2 children located. Immediate rescue action taken. Survivors stabilized. Nothing more, nothing less. The children woke hours later, warm, fed, and safe. The older one asked a quiet question. "Will they punish him?" A human nurse smiled gently. "No," she said. "They will remember him." And they did, days later. A new classification appeared in Galactic records. It was brief, but heavy with meaning. Humans, high risk, high compassion. Intervene without permission. Protect the weak at all costs. Trade routes adjusted. Rescue protocols rewritten. Storm worlds reclassified, where humans were present. Survival chances increased. The human pilot returned to his routine life. No medals, no speeches, just another transport job. But sometimes, when storms hit distant worlds, other species sent one request. Quiet and urgent, send humans, because the galaxy had learned something new. On frozen planets, in deadly storms, when rules failed and hope disappeared, humans did not ask who you were. They asked where you were, and they came.